Hey girlies, it's Augusta. If your makeup just isn't looking or turning out as good as the tutorials you're watching online, it's likely because you're making a few small, simple makeup mistakes that can be changed so easily and you probably just don't even realize. So I'm going to show you guys all of my tried and tested tips and things that are going to help make your makeup look a lot more professional, better, and just enhance your look. They're all super easy and beginner friendly, so make sure you stay tuned for all of the tips all till the end, where I'm revealing a little secret at the end, so definitely stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to glow up to your best self, learn how to do makeup, hair, fashion, everything girly, just subscribe, because I'd love you to join the fam. Everything's always linked below, so let's just get right into the tutorial. Just before we get started, I wanted to say that none of these are like quote unquote bad habits. It's more just, it's gonna make your makeup look more professional, and these are some tips that a lot of people don't know, and they're gonna make a huge overall difference if you implement them. So tip number one is quite a big one. This is probably one of the biggest differences that you're going to see in your makeup, but it's if you don't blend your foundation or tinted moisturizer from your face onto your neck and they're completely different colors, especially if you're a fake tan girly, because it can be kind of hard to match your face shade to your body when it's kind of changing all the time because it's faded or you just fake tanned. But you can also try and have a tanning shade and a pale or like normal skin tone shade if you do fake tan. That's a good way to stop the disparity. What I also do is I have some bronzing drops, so if I'm more tan, then I'll just add more bronzing drops into my foundation. I've put a really light layer on of tinted moisturizer, like a soft glam foundation, and I've blended it down onto the neck, but I always go on with a damp beauty blender afterwards because I like to apply it with my hands, and I always make sure that everything is nice and seamless, especially right here by the ears or onto your ears, like where your ear looks like a different color. Make sure that it's just a nice, at least ombre, if not like looks really seamless, because as you can see there's no different color. My face is more pale, but because I put bronzing drops on now, it matches my chest really nicely, and I've blended the two shades down. So that is a very important step. Don't forget to do extra blending. More is always more with blending. One thing I always see people doing is tightlining their waterline. So that's basically where you just fill in the waterline right here below the lash line. I'm just going in with my Wonder Skin long lasting waterproof eyeliner. A waterproof one is good because it stays longer. But the makeup mistake that I often see is people will line their waterline, they'll line the top one and then the bottom one, and it will make their eye look really small because they won't do any eyeliner around the eye. So I'm going to show you basically how to fix that, and if you're scared of winged eyeliner, don't worry, because this is a super easy way to get the same effect. I'm just taking this dark color brown eyeshadow. You can do black. I would say do black if you have darker features like dark eyes. If you have lighter eyes, I would say use a brown shade, because the black can look a bit harsh unless you're doing like full glam. And all you have to do is basically just line the outer third and then kind of drag it in slowly into the middle so that it fades away. And just do a little line with a little angled brush. You can do a little flick at the side, but you don't even have to do a wing with this because it's just eyeshadow. It's easy, it gets messy, and then you can go in and tightline your waterline like this. If you struggle with doing this, just look away from where you're doing it. So I look to the opposite side, and that way my eye doesn't flutter. Okay, so now you can see both eyes. I've done the eyeliner on top here. I haven't got mascara on, so you're not seeing the full effect yet, but I've done the eyeliner on top here and not on here. And what I find is people will often line the top line and the bottom line, and if I did that, my eye would look really small and beady. But I've just lined the top line and then put the liner on top, so it makes your eye look bigger rather than smaller, because we want to accentuate the eyes. This tip is kind of controversial, but it has been a game changer, and I only recently started doing this, but it's doing your mascara before your base makeup. So yeah, I've done my foundation and stuff, but I haven't done concealer or anything. And that way, if I mess anything up, the concealer is gonna make it super clean and my eyes look way more awake. So I'm doing my mascara now that I've just done my eyes, and then I'll finish and do my base. This is the UK Lash Lengthening Mascara, and it is so good if you're looking for a good one, but I'll link all the products below as I always do. So now I've got my mascara out the way, and then if I make any mistakes, I can just easily clean them up like that and not mess up any of the base makeup. And then now when I apply my concealer and blend it out, it's gonna look even more crisp and snatched. Instead of applying your contour, your cream contour, too low on your cheeks where the cheek kind of bevels inwards, where it would kind of seem intuitive because you apply it in a 3 shape, right, just below the cheekbone. You kind of want to apply it actually just on your cheekbone, so it almost looks like it's too high, and then blend upwards, because if you blend downwards, it's actually going to do the opposite of what it's supposed to do and drag your face down. So I put it, my cheek kind of goes in right here, and I put it above, and then when I blend it out, I'm just gonna go in upwards swipes and buff it out really gently like that. And then it's gonna make me look more snatched instead of dragging my face down. Of course, I'm gonna blend out this concealer. I was just letting it sit for a minute. I often see people waiting after they've blended out all their cream products, especially their under eye concealer, or they don't even set it with a powder. So the key to making sure that the concealer or the cream products don't get cakey or crease is by using a setting powder. You can either use a loose one or a pressed one. The loose one is probably more for like a full glam look. Will set it a bit more, maybe last a bit longer, especially under the eyes. And a pressed one is just honestly a bit easier, so if you struggle, then just use a pressed powder. But it's basically the same thing. You just take a little powder puff, and you can bake with the loose one and just leave a bit of residue and then wipe it away later. And then for the pressed powder, you just press it in immediately. But it's the same idea. Because I just blended in my concealer, you want to make sure that you bake as soon as you can after, because you don't want it to crease. And if you see it creasing, just go back in with the beauty blender before you apply the powder, because you don't want to set on top of a creased base. I often see people contouring their noses by doing 2 lines with their contour stick or bronzer, but I actually have found that if you use the lighter color down the side, it seems counterintuitive, but it honestly really contours your nose. So I use my loose powder and I just kind of like put it along these sides, almost so that my nose looks a bit thinner. And obviously this looks crazy right now, but I'll finish my powder products and then go and wipe it away. And this makes your nose look way slimmer in the end, because you're gonna go in and apply like your blush and highlighter on the nose. Then you can just go in and add your highlight to the tip of the nose and the bridge, and that way it stays on the very top of the nose and it's gonna look super contoured. You can even go in with some bronzer in between, just below the bridge, if you like that look. A common misconception is that blush should be applied right on the apples, the front of your cheek, but this is going to make your face drag down once again, similar to the contour tip that I mentioned. So you actually want to kind of almost apply it where you'd apply highlighter. That's why I like to use this palette, because it's like blush and highlighter in one. And this is gonna like really sweep up your face. I love that look where the blush is almost like right by your eye. It really just makes you look a lot more cute, snatched, and just lifts your face a lot more. Speaking of blush, it's also very important that you use the right shade. Often people will take advice from influencers or people that don't have the same complexion as them. So make sure that you know if you have neutral, cool, or warm undertones, and kind of your complexion, your eye color. You need to make sure that you're using the right shades for you so that they enhance your face, not someone else's face. And the way that you can do this the most easily is by using glam.org, and you can literally upload a picture of your face and it will give you a whole color analysis and tell you your best products and shades and everything in like 10 seconds. So I'll link that below if you want to try that out. But that is honestly one of the best secrets to getting your makeup better, and what a lot of people are doing nowadays is like using their color analysis and color theory to make their makeup, make them look the best and glow up. The last tip is on the lip liner. Everyone asks me how I do my lips, and honestly, it makes me look like my lips are a lot bigger than they are when I have makeup on. So what the tactic I use is, I actually have a whole video if you want the in-depth one, but a lot of people will line the top of their lip all the way overlined, but that actually looks really obvious and kind of tacky. It doesn't look like your makeup is very professional. So if you want it to look natural and like your lip is actually bigger rather than looking like you've overlined it, you need to line the sides of your lip in line with your lip and then line the Cupid's bow over. So overline in the center area and then do the edges on your normal lip line. As you can see, this, I haven't even blended it out yet, but it looks like this is my natural lip because I've kept the sides to my normal lip shape and just overlined the Cupid's bow. And it's this really good technique. I forgot who invented it, but honestly, it's life-changing. And a lip combo and blush are especially one of those things where finding your ideal shade is key, so glam is really helpful with that. If you guys liked these tips and you think they'll help you with your makeup, because I know they will, let me know. And if you want to work with me one-on-one because you want to glow up to the next level and hear all the secrets to really level up, I have my blueprint launching, and all the info will be in the description, in my link in bio, everywhere. You can always find it. So definitely check that out if you want to go to the next level and take this one step further. Those are all my tips, and I hope this video has been super helpful and given you some food for thought and help with your makeup. And let me know if this has helped you. Definitely try these out and come back in the comments because I love hearing from you guys. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe, because I'm going to help you glow up to be your best self and share all the real tea. So it's just a win-win if you subscribe. Anyway, sending you guys so much love. Have the best day. Bye.